Well, the honeymoons are over, but this drama is not. Welcome to another episode of Cocktails with Cousins. I'm Erica.
I'm KD.
I'm Raina.
And we're here to talk about Married at First Sight, season 14 in Boston, episode 6. Like I said, the honeymoons are over, but the drama definitely kicked up for one couple in particular this episode. Before we get started, go ahead and hit the like button. We know you're going to like what we have to say. You probably are thinking the same exact thing. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode, and then make sure you share with everyone else. Let's jump right on into this couple that I have one sentence about, Steve and Noi. Like they literally was so boring this episode. They got no camera time. What they went in the stream, and that was it. The only thing that I have about them that I thought was interesting was that you remember when they did go on the hike and they were getting in the stream and he was talking about her. He was like, it's very disappointing that she's nervous about being on the trip. And I'm like, dude, why can't you be nervous about being on this hike or being in the wood? Like, why is that a problem for you? Like, what do you want out of a woman? Like, I couldn't get what his point of view was. What sentences do you guys have about them?
Yeah, I said Noi doesn't like any type of adventure. No type. And I got down, was she in a bra and a panties?
It did look like she had on a bra. I was like, is that a bathing suit? Like, I didn't know. I was the same thing. I was the same way. I didn't know if it was
like who doesn't pack enough swimsuits or bathing suits when they go to Puerto Rico?
I don't know.
It looked like a bralette, but
right.
I kind of want to commend her for actually trying though, because you remember it wasn't even up for discussion for like the camping thing. But at least she got in the water and he was like trying to teach her how to float or something like that.
Yeah, until the fish bit him.
But the only thing that really stuck out to me about them was how when they were talking about kids at the table with the other couples, and she was saying how she wanted it has to be 3 kids.
Yeah, and I wish she would have expounded on why it has to be 3 kids, but she didn't. And somebody else was like, 3 kids is a negative, but we'll get to that. But yeah, I didn't understand the 3. I mean, hey, I get it or whatever, but I don't know. I was with you though, Raina. I was glad she at least tried, but he is like not feeling it. He wants him. I don't even know, I guess, what to call what he wants, because he definitely wants somebody who wants to live outside.
He wants an equivalent of him, like a girl version of him, basically.
He does. Well, this is probably the shortest conversation we've had. I don't have anything else. Does anybody else?
Mm-mm.
All right, well, let's move right along to Jasmina and Michael. What's going on with them this week?
Okay, so let's cut to the chase. Jasmina really don't like Michael.
I don't think so either.
Like, they have no chemistry. I mean, when they were sitting at the spring, at the waterfall, they were like crickets. And
it was.
You notice how Jasmina didn't want to get her hair wet?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I can imagine.
Right, but
our hair.
Right, but if I know I'm going to somewhere tropical, I will get my hair braided up.
Yeah.
Didn't last the season in Atlanta and the season in New Orleans, the Black girls got their hair braided up.
They did.
They set the appointment after they met their families.
Yeah. No, they made it work. Yeah, she seemed like she keeps saying about this communication, which is why I wish they would share like even a snippet of the conversation, because it's almost like she's almost being like, Alyssa a little bit, but she's at least trying. I will give her that. She's at least trying, but she keeps saying this thing that we're not seeing.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to see Michael turned up.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, Katie, you're right. Like, I feel like they have no chemistry as of right now. And it was like you said, it was like crickets when they were at the waterfall, to the point where like he literally just randomly told some childhood story about being bullied.
Yeah.
Just to get a hug from her. It was so weird. I was like, this is really awkward. Like, what is this? Yeah.
It was interesting though, because when they're with the other couples, like they were like, we know why we were matched. They feel like they're both opinionated, although they don't share any opinions because they're not talking. But they seem to know, like they get why they were matched, but I just don't understand why they're not. I don't know. But he did kind of say that. He said that he didn't feel like they were progressing, although it's been like what, maybe 5 days at this point. He did say that he didn't feel like they were
5 days alone together, you should at least be progressing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
So I'm gonna cut to the part where there was Jasmina, Katina, and Alyssa talk, like meeting or whatever. Okay. Mm-hmm. So during that time, Katina and Jasmina was basically giving Alyssa advice to like, basically she hasn't, I know we're not talking about Alyssa, but she was getting at how Alyssa didn't really know Chris at this point. She was just going off based on what his friends were telling her about him. And so Katina was like, well, maybe that's something you should just like hold on to, put it in your back pocket, instead of like run with what they're saying, because you haven't even witnessed it yet. And Jasmina was like, yeah. And I was like, Jasmina, you need to take that advice yourself, because I feel like right now you're doing the same thing to Michael. Like you're taking in what his sister told you about how he is and how he always thinks the worst of every situation and thinks negatively. And so I feel like that's getting in the way of her like actually getting to know him, because she has like these, what's the word? Like these pre-assumptions about him and how he thinks. So it's like that literally it's not helping the situation right now with their interactions.
Katina also made a point when they were on the little couples date or whatever. She said to Jasmina, or she didn't say to Jasmina, she said to Camera that Jasmina seems like the person that's always trying to get her point across. And that could be a problem too, especially if you think he's negative. So you're just going to hone in on the fact that you want him to be positive. So I could see where that could be annoying too. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's why he's not communicating as effectively as he could, and being angry that we're not seeing. But maybe that's it too, if you're just trying to get your point across. So.
And like when they were on that double date with Lajuan and Katina, it's funny because they were saying the same thing about each other, basically to each other, how they're both opinionated and, you know, they're kind of stubborn. Once they think something, like that's it. And Jasmina was saying that about him, and Michael was like, but I feel the same way about you. Like you do the same thing. And so maybe that's why it's like, you know how opposites attract, like they're kind of like repelling because they're the same. They act the same way. Yeah,
they do. I would agree. But you know what I thought was funny before, if we don't have any other points about them, I thought it was funny that she said that she, like when they were at the stream and he was like getting the water and then got water, and she was like, well, sometimes I just like to complain to, you know, get things when I have things that I'm not you know, not liking or not feeling. And I said, look at you being negative when you talk him being negative, but sometimes you got to complain before you like it. I was like, girl, you make sense. Yeah. Like Pot and Keller, y'all are the same. Like just open up to this man and start talking to him. Or anything else about them? I won't cut nobody's thoughts off. I mean, these other couples was just, you know, trying to actually have a relationship and being boring. So, I mean, anywho, all right, moving right along then. Let's go on to, who are we doing next? Who do we say? Katina?
Lindsay and Mark.
Oh, Lindsay and Mark? Okay, Lindsay and Mark, let's go for it. They are interesting. So I said that they bounced back quick because I mean, in the last episode, she was like, forget you. I don't want to talk to you, like whatever the case may be. And then this episode, it was like, come on, let's do, you know, da, 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 da. I thought it was interesting that lady kept calling him. Like, what in the whole world was going on with that? And like, how would you guys have handled like a consistent phone call from somebody while you're on your honeymoon?
I mean, I don't know, because it's his landlord, and basically she upped the price of his rent, and she wanted him to sign a contract right there on his honeymoon.
Right.
I mean, they
And
can wait
evict
till
him.
you get back.
Right. Either that or evict, or she said he was being evicted. So I mean, oh, the bed bugs. How can we miss the bed bugs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
How
what?
did you know though?
I don't know. I just thought the whole situation was strange.
Well, maybe
Go ahead.
maybe it's a already furnished apartment, and so maybe the bed bugs came with the furniture, and he was complaining about the bed bugs to her.
I don't know. It
I
was
don't know.
weird to me that like in this moment it was that emergency. Like I feel like all of that would have had to have already like started
Right.
to get on his honeymoon and then it become an emergency.
Right. Like unfinished business.
Yeah, I don't know. It
Yeah.
was weird to me.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I would have, if I was Lindsay, I would have initially thought like, who is she to you? Because why is she blowing up your phone? Are y'all messing around? Like, because that's how much she was blowing up his phone. So I initially thought it before Lindsay clarified whatever.
Yeah.
I was sitting there thinking, okay, there's got to be something behind, like something deeper going on with him and his landlord. But when Lindsay was like, no, she literally kept calling the landlord. She was trying to evict him. I was like, yeah, that's weird. Like, why? Why can't you just wait for him to get, he's on his honeymoon, and apparently she threw his engagement party.
Right. And so he already had 3 cats, and to say no cats allowed.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you knew that. And I'm pretty sure he paid some type of pet deposit and everything. So I didn't get it. And then the other thing that the one thing that I did think though was that although Lindsay be being a Karen sometimes, I feel like in this situation she was being super supportive.
Oh yeah.
She could have said a few things differently, but she was like, okay, here's the plan. You got to call out of work when we get back, and then we'll do X, Y, Z. Like, so she had like all planned out or whatever. So I thought that was sweet of her.
Okay.
She can be crazy.
One thing on the after show that made me think that they're still not together is because Lindsay was saying that his best friend's wife kept calling him and texting him and saying that I'm the number one girl in his life.
The friend's wife.
Right.
Yeah. The friend's wife messaged Lindsay saying that. Yeah. That was weird and awkward.
That's
and she's married.
Weird. Right. Yeah, I was gonna say, but you got a whole husband.
Right. Yeah, I would have to ask Mark if there's like any history between them, because that's
so then that makes sense, because on the previews she was like, I feel like I'm getting 2 different versions of you, and I was like, oh well, maybe they're gonna tell more about that, but that would make sense if something like that happened. I don't know. Well, I don't know what else about them. Anything else? I put down something super random. I was like, her glasses are cute.
I will say this, because I know we're gonna get to them, but like with the couple's dinner, I commend Lindsay for not like,
she did good
making it about her, or like inserting herself into something that had nothing to do with her.
Yeah, she did. Look, she definitely learned that lesson very quickly.
Yeah, because you definitely imposter her. Yeah.
Because there was a whole lot to be said about that situation. Let's move right along to Elijah Wan and Katina. What did you guys think about them this week?
All right, so I'm actually liking them as a couple more and more every time I watch a new episode. Olajuwon, so like they went on that date with horseback riding, and Katina let him know ahead of time, like, hey, this is my first time. I'm scared. I'm terrified. And they both get on the horse. It's his first time too, but he's kind of like leading, right? And for him to like, he kept going faster than Katina, and Katina kept telling him to slow down. But it's weird, like how he just feels like he has to coach her or something. I'm like, where's this energy coming from? Like, nobody told you or asked you to do this.
No.
So it's almost like she's sitting there telling you, like, I'm scared, like, slow down, like, chill. At one point, she was like, okay, you're about to really piss me off, like, slow down. So it's like he keeps testing her boundaries. And I wish he would just sometimes, like, listen to what she's saying. Because it's like he completely ignores her and he expects her to be, like, on his level or whatever, with whatever he wants to do. Because he seems like that fast-paced, adventurous type. But she's like, I mean, it's her first time. I don't blame her. I'm scared of horses. So, I mean, I'm not, but I would be. Yeah.
I put down, why does he keep feeling the need to test her? Like,
I don't understand that.
Yeah. And I don't think it was too much for Katina to ask him to scale back a little bit, because she said she was going on his pace through the whole Sensei wedding. Couldn't he at least go on her level sometimes? And that is going to be that is going to be the challenge for him in his marriage.
Well, even with the horseback riding, because they gave you that teaser last week of he was like, I'm not gonna stop living my life for other people. And I was like, well, dang, what happened on the horseback riding? And it was literally because she wouldn't go faster. Sir, she's on the horse, she's riding with you. What do you mean? Like, you act like y'all about to get a divorce. And she's doing what you asked her to do. She's just telling you to slow down. Like, I didn't understand. I said he blew that way out of proportion. Like, I'm gonna need him to scale it back some because he's being dramatic.
But he learned quick, because at that dinner table, I guess everybody was like talking about what they're learning or like the flaws or whatever issues that they were having with their spouse. He had how like sometimes he's too much, like he's, he admitted he was like going too fast, because he used the horse thing as an example. And he was like, sometimes I just have to like listen and take her word for it. And I'm like, oh, well, he does know, like he's learning. So kudos to him for that. But
what I thought about him towards the end of the episode, I said he got a little Woody in him after all. Just a smidgen. The scenes after the honeymoon, I don't know, they're not looking favorable, but he is likable, and I love that he gives his opinion. He gives his opinion, he keeps it real. He kept it real on every last person that he talked about in the interview, and he didn't say anything that was false on what they needed to do. So I like him. I mean, I hope that they can work out, but I guess it's too early to kind of say. But I do like what I see so far.
He actually kind of shocked me, because I would have thought he seems like pretty outspoken. So I thought he was going to actually say something at the dinner when
he wanted
all eyes were on Chris and Alyssa. I really thought he was gonna like give his 2 cents, but he didn't. Like, he kind of just kept it to himself. But in front of the camera with him and Katina, he's like, I mean,
yes,
said everything he wanted to say, and he's like on point with it. So
yeah.
I like him. I like him.
Look, the miracle of all of them being able to sit there and keep their mouth closed while they were having that conversation was like, they all should get Academy Awards, because my face would have said so many things if I was sitting at that table with them.
Like Lindsay.
Yeah. Noah and Steve was like, we good.
To be in that conversation, I'm sure everybody felt dumbfounded. I felt dumbfounded, and I wasn't even there. So imagine being at the table with them while they were having this crazy conversation. But anywho, anything else about these two, or did we kind of sum up these two lovebirds?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, I think look, I think we're there. Let's talk about the real drama of the show this week, Alyssa and Chris. Who look, where to start?
Okay, the audacity of Alyssa. She had to be forced to play tennis with him.
Yes, she did.
I mean, she was tripping so hard this episode. I don't even know where to start.
No, I don't. Well, I'm gonna start with this. I love the fact that Chris said she wants me to be a husband without her having to be a wife. I thought that those words were very impactful because but the thing about it is, no matter what he does, she still is not satisfied. Like what? Okay, so they played tennis and then they sat down. And what does she get up and blow up about? I can't even remember because she did so many things. But she got up and blew up and went to the ex
producers.
Yeah,
the moment
to producers.
The moment Chris, the moment Chris started talking about like the move-in situation, she was like, "Yeah, I don't like where this is going, so I'm gonna walk away."
Like she wants to live in the apartment, but doesn't want him to live in the apartment. She wants to live in the apartment to just hang out with the girls.
Oh yeah, yes. She said, so it's funny how you assume like that you're gonna live there and I'm not. And he's like, no, you can live there too. She's like, yeah, but I don't want to live with you. Like, what is she expecting?
I don't know. And then my thing is, okay, you don't feel comfortable. It's a 2-bedroom apartment. You go in your bedroom, he goes in his, you have a common space, you try, but she wasn't trying to try. That's the whole thing about it.
Like, she was acting like a spoiled brat.
Yeah, a very spoiled brat. Look,
like stomping her feet and saying this and that to the producers. Like, if y'all gonna make me look bad, like you, I was making yourself
she
look
kept
bad.
saying that. She was like, he's trying to make me look bad. I was like, no, boo, you're doing a pretty good job of doing that by yourself. Like, nobody has to try to make you look bad. Like, every word that's coming out your mouth is you being you, which is in this case bad.
Yeah, I just can't with her. And she went on that tantrum talking to the producers, right? And does she even know that she was being filmed at that point? I don't think she did, because she kind of like went off. Like, if I'm not being portrayed in a nice way, then I'm gonna have it, like I'm gonna, have a fit, something or the other. And I was just like, what is wrong?
She knew she was being recorded. I don't think that she doesn't. At this point, I think she is there for a publicity, like for the publicity, because she's definitely not trying at all. And she keeps saying all this hard work that I'm putting in, and I'm like, girl, what hard work? You ain't done no hard work or whatever. And she feels robbed, like she keeps saying, I feel robbed in this situation. And I just don't know. But Chris was funny though, because they were talking about moving into the apartment, he was like, sounds like you got a tough decision to make.
It's like she literally signed up for the wrong reality TV show, because like she thinks she's supposed to be on The Real World or something, because she wants to be there for the girls, like for her friends, but not with Chris. And the name of the show is Married at First Sight.
And that's what everybody kept saying. They was like, but you're here for a husband. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're here for a husband or whatever. And then why is it that every time he calls her on her crap, she's like, I don't know why he keeps saying I'm not trying, because you're not. Like, you're not trying.
And then
go ahead.
And then at the dinner where, she brought up, who was it? Noy's the one who asked them about the living situation once they leave Puerto Rico. And she was like, yeah, so I was thinking maybe like Chris lives in the apartment for like the first half, and then I move in the second half. And did you see the look on everybody's face?
Everybody's face was like, what? Like, but I love his response. He was like, that's not what I wanted. And that's doing? I was like, go ahead on, Chris. Tell him what you're thinking. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Because he told everybody, he was like, I love everyone here, but I'm not here for you. I'm here to find a wife. Right. So if I just need to know if you're all in or all out. Even if it's just 1%, I just need to know it's more than 0. And if that's it, then I'm all in.
The thing about it is, I feel bad for him because as a person, I want somebody that's going to give me more than 1%.
Oh yeah.
Right.
If it is married at first sight and the person has to get to know me, I'm gonna need you to at least come in with a strong 40. Like, can we get a 40 or something? Like, I don't know, but 1%, and then he's like, just give me 1% and I'll try. I'm like, no.
So demeaning.
Yeah, like you're putting yourself down or whatever. And then what is up with her every time they're standing around? Like when they were playing tennis and he was swinging his hands back and forth and she was like, hand gestures are so aggressive.
Like what? Because she's a victim, that's why.
Alyssa's mom was point on when she described her to him.
She did, and her friends, and didn't dad too. Like,
again, how did the experts not like see this? I'm so confused.
Me too. It's crazy though.
What she says when she has the face-to-face meeting with the experts, because she was really going in on them.
Yeah.
I don't know, but let me tell you something. What them experts said you're not gonna do. You're not gonna accuse them of not paying attention to what was going on. Did you hear what Pastor Kyle said? We have been closely watching the situation.
Oh yeah, he did.
I was like, listen, they said we are not going through this again. You're not about to ruin my reputation.
Yeah, I think that's what Alyssa meant by she was forced to play tennis. It was by the experts. She was forced to participate.
But she's a good person though, Raina. She's a good person.
Right.
I mean,
she is a good person.
But again, go ahead.
Oh no. I'm mad that when Chris put her on the spot at the dinner and was like, I need to know whether you're fully in, all in or not. I need an answer. And Jasmina and Katina jumped in to rescue Alyssa, talking about, well, I don't think this is a time or place to do this in front of everyone. And I was like, that's such a cop out. And then she took that and ran with it. Like,
she sure did. And she kept running with it.
Yes. Even after the dinner. Because now at that point it was one-on-one and he asked her the same question. And what was it that he asked? Where she couldn't come up with what is it? Oh, it's like he basically asked like if she had given him a chance to what was it? Y'all know what I'm talking about?
I know.
He asked her, he was like, have you given me a chance? Like, you didn't even tell me what the issue was and whether I can give me time to fix it. And she was like, yes, I did. He's like, what were those things? And she was just like, crickets, just
because she ain't got nothing to say.
None.
I don't feel comfortable talking about this.
It's always I don't feel comfortable talking about it. It's so disrespectful. So disrespectful.
Not doing this. I know. I'm not doing this. Oh my God. You know what though? It's pretty sad though, because I mean, as he was telling his story to Mark and Lindsay, and he was like, we literally like knew each other 40 minutes and then like had a conversation, maybe talked 40 minutes. And then the next thing I know, like, she's like, she doesn't want to be around me and and I had done so much stuff or whatever. And it's like, again, I feel so bad for him. But
yes,
he like,
my heart went out to him.
Yeah, it's like he didn't even get a chance to fuck up. Like, it was just like, whatever. But I love that all the other people called it for exactly what it is. She didn't find him attractive. Mm-hmm. And she basically went from there and was like, I'm out or whatever. Katina said it to her, right? Elijah said something else, said something to that effect or whatever. Jasmina said she never gave him a chance. Like, so everybody else can see right on through her, but for whatever reason, she thinks that, like, I don't know, she thinks that she's the victim.
Oh, of course, because it's Alyssa.
Yeah.
She is a victim.
I'm trying to figure out why won't somebody just say it to, like they said it nicely, but I need somebody just to say it. I guess that's why she.
It's gonna be Lindsay. It's gonna have to be Lindsay.
Say.
Yeah,
it would be Lindsay if nobody else.
Yeah.
I mean, and I wish like I wish she would just give him enough respect to be like, listen, I'm not attracted to you. You're not my type. This isn't going to work for me, and just be done instead of like dragging him along, because basically she's just in it for her 15 minutes of fame, her views, her followers, and whatever money that they get paid for to make it to the end of the show. So
yeah. I hope that he tells Pastor Cal that he wants a divorce. I hope that he does, because ain't no point in dragging this out.
Right? No. I love that his sister was like, no, we ain't doing this. Like, go ahead on, get out of there. Like,
cut your losses.
Yes. Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't, but I'm still I'm really mad at Alyssa's people for thinking that it was okay to let her do this show. Like, they should have intervened. She was not ready.
But I think that Alyssa already had it in her mind, like she already had a plan. Like, well, I plan on going in, and if he doesn't check my boxes, if he doesn't look good, in my opinion, then yeah, it's just, at least I get this show out of it. I think she already went in with that mindset, because I think this was like planned from the get-go.
I could definitely 100% agree. Like she went in with no effort. Like she started with no effort. But I'm just mad that she said, I do. Like, she could have had her 15 minutes of fame. She could have been more well known for just being the bride who gets to the end of the altar and says, yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna check out now. Like, I don't think that America would dislike her as much as they do at the moment if she would have just said, you know what, I know this may seem vain, but I don't know that this is going to work, and walked away before she even said I do. But she said I do. And it's like, girl, you said I do. You should have tried.
Right.
I don't know. Did we hit all her drama? Because I swear it was so much stuff. I was sitting here trying to see if I had everything I said in my notes, but
yeah. Chris said it best, that when he was talking to her, she kept saying she wants the experience. Like, and he summed it up to, she wants the experience, not the process.
She does.
And I'm like, yeah, that's basically all it is. So I feel sorry for him. I'm sure there's somebody out there for him, but it ain't her.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
He deserves way better than Alyssa. So
yeah. Well, let's talk about next week and what we saw on the previews for next week. Hold on, wait. Let me just start off. So Michael Lane think it was important to lead with the fact that he had a female roommate?
Well, I could have sworn she asked him, has he ever lived with a woman before? And he said no.
They showed that part. I thought they showed
it. Yeah. Maybe in his mind, he was thinking like, she's asking, have you ever like lived with a girlfriend?
Right.
But that's such a guy way to think about it.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, Michael, that's living with a female man, sir. I don't know if you realize that.
And maybe that's why that made her so upset in the footage, because remember, she's never lived with the boyfriend or anything like that, because they're never even in the same state, right? It's always like long distance. Right. So if it's just the simple fact that he's had a female roommate, that's nothing to be mad about. That's like, it's after the fact, like y'all got married. It's not like he does right now in this current moment. There's nothing to be mad about. But I think it has to be that she's mad because he clearly said he's never lived with a woman, but then later admits that he has a female roommate. So otherwise, I don't see her getting mad about that.
Well, hold on, wait, stop. Okay.
But what if it's his sister? See Jasmine getting mad about him lying about has he ever lived with
A
with
girl?
a female before?
Well, of
Well,
course,
I mean-
because she's gonna be like, well, he doesn't know how to communicate. Like, she's gonna be mad about the communication portion about
But
that.
was it in the past? Because didn't in that preview they show somebody closing the door? They were in the kitchen and somebody was closing the door. Did y'all see that?
That was her closing the door.
Oh, do you
I
think
didn't-
that was her?
I thought
Okay.
it was.
I don't know. Look, now I need to go back and but anywho, yeah, I was like,
No,
sir,
he
Go
has a female roommate currently.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
It was
Oh.
currently. I
Uh-oh.
was like, sir, that's definitely what to lead with. And then Noi blows up about that money. She didn't blow up, but she broke
She's
down,
crying.
I guess, crying because she said she didn't want her kids to be worried about money. So I'm guessing Steve told her, girl, I ain't about to go back to nobody's job. I told y'all that man is not working. He said
Nope.
not
Not at all.
working.
No.
Y'all, look, what did y'all notice? What did y'all see?
Olajuwon is expecting a home cooked meal
Right.
almost every night from Katina.
He should have married Martha Stewart.
Because he said that from the beginning.
He did, but even at the altar when she was like, I don't know about that, he was like, well, no, we can learn together. So I'm
Right.
waiting.
He was in lust.
He was. You're right. He was.
Well, then hold on, wait. If he was in lust then and now he wants those home cooked meals, that means she must have gave up the goodies because he ain't in lust no more.
Well,
Mhm.
maybe she didn't.
So he like, I
But
want some
he
food.
getting tired of waiting.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know, but he sure went back to that and what he looking all in the pots and pans and told him, oh, good.
I mean, like, even though he stated that in the beginning, I still see nothing wrong with a man being in the kitchen.
No, he should
So-
be, especially
Yeah.
if they both working outside of the home. Like, why is
What
it responsibility?
Yeah, and what has he been doing all this time? He's been single, right? So you still know how to feed yourself. So like, what's the issue? What's the problem?
I don't know. That's old caveman, old school. Like nobody ain't nobody got time for that. And even Lindsay was at her wit's end. Did y'all? She said she has had almost enough. So this landlord situation must go deeper than what what we saw tonight.
Right.
Yeah.
And she said something about him having two sides.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
wonder what that is about. Do you think he's going to get too, because he already seems as if he is like when it comes to his mom, like he is just hyper focused on that situation or whatever. So maybe it's the fact that maybe he just like hyper focuses on things to the point of being obsessive, like, and maybe that brings out a different side of him. I don't know. I'm completely making up stuff now.
Well,
I don't
we'll
know.
see.
Yeah, we will see. All right. Well, that sums it up. That sums it up for this episode. So we'll go ahead and check out. Until next time, make sure that you go ahead and hit the like button. We hope that you like what you heard. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And then make sure that you share with everybody you know. Until next time, see ya. Bye.